Hey guys, it's Ryan, and today we are going to be diving into not just one, two, or even three protein bars. We're going to dive into 41 different protein bars and rank them in different categories based on their nutrition. Let's do this. But before we get started, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video if you found this protein bar analysis helpful in any way. We have 5 different rankings on how we're going to rank these bars for ingredients and their nutrition. 1 is elite, 2 is above average, 3 is average, 4 is would not recommend, thumbs down, and 5 is just buy the candy bar because it's probably going to be better for you than this bar. So I know you're asking, but Ryan, what is the criteria? Is it the amount of grams of protein is more better? No, it is not. We're talking about the quality of ingredients and the bad ingredients as well. And some of the bad ingredients are going to be natural flavors, artificial flavors, brown rice syrup, maltodextrin, tapioca starch, pure sugar, cane sugar, fructose, glucose, dextrose also could be shown as corn sugar, IMOs, soluble corn fiber, and MSG/yeast extract. Let's not forget, we're also going to be looking at artificial sweeteners. Now, artificial sweeteners technically aren't good for you, but aren't bad for you. They are chemical compounds, they're not real food, and we want to limit them as much as possible. All right, guys, let's start off with the Aloha chocolate chip cookie dough bar. Now, this bar, the good things that go for it that are advertised is that it is vegan, non-GMO, aka non-genetically modified, gluten-free, dairy-free, and organic. So just hearing those, it already sounds like a winner, right? Hold on, not so fast, my friends. The first ingredient is tapioca fiber, meaning that bar is going to have a lot of fiber. And you can see right there is 14 grams of fiber. That's a lot. That's definitely going to make you feel full, but also might make you run to the restroom. And some of those ingredients, even though they're organic, definitely are a little bit higher on that scale of ingredients that we need to look at. Brown rice syrup, cane sugar, vegetable glycerin, brown rice syrup again, and natural flavors. Like, seeing those ingredients there and only with 14 grams of protein, even with everything good going with that bar, I have to only put it in the average category. That is the highest I could put it with. If they were able to reformat it, maybe make it a little bit higher protein, or maybe make a different first ingredient, we would be able to move it up a little bit. All right, guys, next we're gonna look at the balanced cookie dough bar. And that bar, my friends, is a stay away. It's already a candy bar. Let me tell you why. It has 17 grams of sugar and 15 grams of protein. If it has more sugar than protein, you might as well just have a Snickers. You might as well have 100 grand. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, there are ingredients of fructose, glucose syrup, sugar listed twice, and then also having less than 2% of natural flavors, maltodextrin, and dextrose doesn't do it any favors. So definitely stay away from a balanced bar. It is not your friend. All right, guys, let's talk about the bodybuilding chocolate chip cookie dough bar. So you're thinking bodybuilding.com, it has to be only the top ingredients. And that's true. The first ingredient is whey protein isolate, one of the top whey protein options you can get. So that's good. However, they do have sugar, maltitol, and also tapioca starch, which is used to create a thick, chewy texture for the bar. So again, not really liking that as much, and seeing that all those things to combine together, I have to give it a thumbs down. Could have been better, but bodybuilding, I expect a little bit better from you, even with kind of a price tag that goes with your bar. Let's talk about this bar that's been getting a lot of publicity recently just because of how great it tastes. It's the Bomar Nutrition Protein Hot Chocolate Brownie Bar. This one is definitely one of the most popular bars in regards to the online community and fitness community when it comes to taste. Now, does it stack up? So it does have a good amount of protein at 20 grams of protein. And it does have for itself a very low sugar amount of 5 grams of sugar, even though 4 grams of that is added. And usually they have a very small amount of maltitol, natural flavors, and sucrose. But again, they do have dextrose, sugar, vegetable glycerin. Not the best whey protein we're using. We're using whey protein concentrate as the first ingredient. It's nice to see protein as the first ingredient in their bar, but again, concentrate isn't going to be as good as isolate in regards to it. So I have them as an average bar. It is a gluten-free bar, so if that helps in your decision making as well. So Bomar Nutrition, you are average. Now guys, it's time to talk about the BSN Protein Crisp Chocolate Bar, and that bar ultimately is one of the more popular ones at your local grocery store or at your GNC or supplement store that you find. This bar has 20 grams of protein, but some of the ingredients in there are not the best. Again, they have IMOs, polydextrose, maltitol syrup, so that's the maltitol in its liquid form, meaning that it's going to be spiking your blood sugar and also not making you feel as full. And they have natural and artificial flavors and sucrose in there as well. The only thing keeping it up, making it an average bar, is having whey protein isolate as the first ingredient. It is a gluten-free bar, so again, this is an average bar, but this is probably on the low end of our average scale. Let's talk about the Built Bar. The Built Bar is non-GMO, gluten-free, has no artificial preservatives, flavors, or colors, which is incredible to see in a protein bar. Now they do have some sugar, maltodextrin, and they do have double doses of natural flavors. But again, for a bar that has 20 grams of protein, for 170 calories, and seeing that it is pretty relatively low in sugar and not that many bad ingredients, this is definitely going to be an above average bar. Something I definitely haven't tried, but I would definitely recommend you guys trying out. Let's go to the Bulletproof Chocolate Chip Cookie Dough Bar. Now, Bulletproof is only 12 grams of protein, which is really low and a bad place to start. But their first ingredient is organic cashew butter. They also focus on a hydrolyzed collagen protein, which is supposed to help your skin, collagen is. Therefore, at the end of the day, when I was looking at their ingredients, and you could see them up there, they're definitely not bad for you. The only one I question is their Bulletproof Brain Octane Oil, which I know is caprylic triglycerides. And at the end of the day, I just don't trust having their own company's MCT oil or own company's octane oil inside of their product, not knowing what is in that. But it is a fantastic bar if you're looking for something that it has pretty good protein and pretty good fat, and also a decent amount of carbs without a low sugar. This is a bar that has to go in the elite category without a doubt. Guys, let's talk about the Cliff Bar. I swear, anyone who calls this a protein bar is losing their mind, because it has 9 grams of protein and has 21 grams of sugar in it. Again, at the end of the day, if you wanted something that is a sugary treat, go for it. That could definitely be your thing. But again, this is not a protein bar. This is not supposed to help you get to where your goals are. So at the end of the day, true organic brown rice syrup might be their first ingredient. I don't care if it's organic. Brown rice syrup is still their first ingredient. And they still have cane syrup, cane sugar, and natural flavors. Get the heck away from me, Quiff. You're a candy bar. Oh, but Quiff decided to do one better and make a Builder's Protein Bar. A Builder's Protein Bar. Good. It has 20 grams of protein. Thank the Lord. Has 17 grams of sugar. Still high, but let's just make sure none of that is just all added sugar. Oh, wait, it is all added sugar. So none of it is natural. None of their sugar is natural at all. It's all added, and that's from cane syrup, cane sugar, brown rice syrup, vegetable glycerin, and natural flavors. Are you kidding me right now, Quiff? You call this a protein bar? This is just asking to be demolished. It is a candy bar. Don't be fooled just because it says Builder Protein. Any Quiff Builder's Protein, get the heck out of here. Next, we're going to be diving into the Detour Lean Muscle Cookie Dough Caramel Crisp Bar with 32 grams of protein. That's pretty good, but this bar is substantially more calories at 370. So at the end of the day, that's fine. Maybe you need a little bit of a bigger treat at the end. So let's look at their first ingredient, whey protein concentrate. Not bad. Then I look at all the other ingredients and it makes me want to cry. Sure, there's very little sugar, but look at the sugar alcohols. There's 27 grams of sugar alcohols all in your body. Are you kidding me right now? They have maltitol listed twice, natural flavor listed 3 times, sugar twice, and maltodextrin. Get out of here. You're a candy bar. Don't be fooling anyone. All right, guys, let's talk about Detour's other bar called the Smart Bar. And it better be smart because their other bar was just pure dumb. 10 grams of protein already. Can I really classify this as a protein bar? Sadly, it's in the protein bar section, so I must. With this bar, I see that it has gluten-free organic rolled oats as their first ingredient, which is a great testimonial to the product. Their bad ingredients that they have is sugar 3 times with natural flavors twice and vegetable glycerin, but it's not too bad because they're all listed pretty low. So when I'm looking at a bar that's also non-GMO, gluten-free, and has nothing artificial, and has organic whole grains, which is the oatmeal that's in there, you know, it's an average bar because at the end of the day, it's still only 10 grams of protein. Well, let's look at the Epic Chicken Sriracha Bar. This bar is only 130 calories, has 13 grams of protein, which is pretty good for the amount of calories that are in there. And their number 1 ingredient is chicken, which is great. It's great to see an actual meat as the first ingredient. And when I'm looking at the ingredients right now, not too many bad ones. So this bar, seeing that there's no sugar, seeing that there is a decent amount of protein for the calories that are involved, this bar, Epic, is gonna be elite. This next bar is vegan, non-GMO, Evolve, plant-based bar, particularly the peanut butter flavored version. When I'm looking at this bar, we only have about 10 grams of protein. Again, not too great seeing that through and through with a plant-based bar. And seeing that it has tapioca starch and natural flavors, it's not the worst. It has peanuts as their number 1 ingredient, which is great to see. But I can't move it anywhere up than average because 10 grams of protein is nothing, especially at 230 calories. That's a lot of calories that you're eating that isn't huge on the protein. Gatorade is the next bar, the chocolate chip bar. Let's look into them. All right, 20 grams of protein. Good. Awesome. Oh my God, 29 grams of sugar. Okay, maybe it's just natural. Maybe it's coming from, good ingredient. 28 grams of added sugar. Are you kidding me right now, Gatorade? Are you kidding? They have sugar, brown sugar, listed 4 times on their ingredient list. Corn syrup, natural flavor listed 3 times, and glucose syrup. And not to mention their first ingredient in their bar is sugar. Oh my goodness. Move it to the candy bar aisle. Get it out of here. Next, we're going to be talking about one of the most expensive ones on this list, Go Macro. Go Macro is a bar that does have some advantages to it. It is vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, and dairy-free, as well as organic. Organic brown rice syrup, though, is their first ingredient, so you're going to see a little bit that they do have a lot of sugars in them, which is of 14 grams of sugar, 12 of it being added. Again, having organic brown rice syrup and organic coconut sugar, it could be worse. It really could. Let's go to the Grenade Carb Killer, the chocolate chip cookie dough version. With 20 grams of protein, already starting off strong. We're looking at their ingredients, and they do have 14 grams of sugar alcohol, which is definitely going to not work well with them. Even though they are a non-GMO, let's look at their first ingredient. Oh, it's maltitol. And that ingredient, especially being a sugar alcohol, is going to definitely promote gas, cramping, and diarrhea in most people. And when you have maltitol, natural flavors twice, artificial flavors, and polydextrose, which is a sweetener that also causes bloating and diarrhea, with xylitol and sucralose. Oh no, too much. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's going to go straight to candy bar land. Here comes Jimmy. Jimmy's Eye of the Tiger bar offers 25 grams of protein for 260 calories, which is very good to see. Their first ingredient is soy protein crisps. Not the best type of protein, but we can deal with that. Some of the only ingredients that are bad is maltitol and natural color. It does have 6 grams of sugar, 3 grams of that only being added. So maltitol probably makes up 3 grams of added sugar. But overall, it's an above average bar. I mean, you're getting 25 grams of protein, 1 or 2 ingredients that aren't that bad for you. Heck yeah, I'm signing up for it. Oh, if only I could be kind to this protein bar. The Kind protein bar has 12 grams of protein. You call this a protein bar with 12 grams of protein? Do you know your competitors in the space? All right, let's just give you a little bit of leeway and look at what the dark chocolate nut Kind protein bar has to offer. 8 grams of sugar, it could be worse. Glucose syrup, sugar, and natural flavors in there. Probably not the best. It does have peanuts as the first ingredient and is low GI, non-GMO, and gluten-free. Again, for the bar, we want something that's going to be more satiating and has more protein. It's not the worst ingredient list I've seen. I'm going to call it average. Following up the Kind protein bar is the Lara Bar protein bar, which only has 11 grams of protein. Great, Lara Bar starting off strong, especially for 230 calories. This is just gonna go well. But I have to give it to them. Their chocolate peanut butter cup version, when I look at it, they only have really cane syrup, which is bad. And you know, they do have 18 grams of sugar, but most of it is actually coming from natural sources or their ingredients. So only 2 grams are probably being added from the cane sugar. Dates is their first ingredient, which is what makes up probably most of that sugar content in that bar. It is a vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, dairy-free, and kosher bar. It's above average in my opinion. Again, barely above average, because if it had more protein, it would be great. But seeing how unprocessed this bar is, it's definitely an ideal bar to have, whether you're on the go or snacking. Let's go Luna for Luna, that's for sure. 8 grams of protein, and you call yourself a protein bar? Again, get the heck out of there. And now that I look at your bar, and I'm looking at brown rice syrup, cane sugar, vegetable glycerin, natural flavors, I don't care if you're non-GMO or gluten-free, and I don't care if your first ingredient is organic rolled oats, you're gonna get a thumbs down from me. It's just simple, you're not a protein bar. You tried, but you failed. With a name like Super Cookie Crunch, I can only imagine that this bar is gonna be amazing on the ingredient list for MetRx. It has the most calories of all the bars here at 410 calories here. Has 32 grams of protein, which is great to see, but it has 27 grams of sugar. 27 grams of sugar is definitely something you don't want to see in a bar. With tapioca starch, corn syrup twice, natural flavors 4 times, and sugar listed as their main thing. I don't care if they don't have any artificial colors. You're not fooling me. You're basically a cookie bar that has added protein into it. Get in the candy bar section, MetRx. Hey, we gotta talk about the gluten-free Muscle Farm bar, because their chocolate chip cookie dough bar, it's gotta be better, right? It's gluten-free. It's got 210 calories, 20 grams of protein. Starting off strong. Let's look otherwise. We've got 12 grams of fiber. Okay, that's not too bad. You know, maybe they have some good natural ingredients. Oh wait, no they don't. If you look at their ingredient list, oh my goodness, I'm gonna cry. They have IMOs, sugar twice, maltitol, and they also have less than 2% of maltodextrin natural flavors, sucrose, and tapioca starch. What I'm really focused on is the IMOs, sugar, and maltitol. They're combining to make something that is probably not going to be ideal by any means. So this is going to get a thumbs down for me. Time to now talk about one of the most prominent bars in the US, Nature Valley, and their protein variation of peanut butter dark chocolate. Now I'm looking at it, it has 10 grams of protein. You're not a protein bar, you're just trying to get into the segment by saying you have double digits of protein. And it has, 6 grams of sugar, has sugar listed on there twice with natural flavor, fructose and corn syrup. I don't care if you have roasted peanuts as your first ingredient. This isn't a protein bar. It's not the worst by any means, only gonna get a thumbs down. Time to not give you any BS about No Cow. No Cow's protein bars, especially their chocolate chip cookie dough is the one we're going to dive into, are known for being high fibrous bars with 16 grams. That's a lot of fiber. Again, you better make the toilet your best friend here. and 21 grams of protein, which is pretty good for 190 calories. When I'm looking at their ingredients, their first one is brown rice protein. Again, not the highest quality of protein, but it will do. Soluble corn fiber, erythritol, which isn't a worst artificial sweetener, with glycerin as well. Those aren't really horrible. They do have natural flavors listed a little bit lower, but overall, being a vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free bar, it's a little bit above average. I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad for you. It's something I would use in a pinch as long as you don't have a very sensitive stomach. Otherwise, you'll be heading to the restroom. Let's talk about the rising rates of interest in Nugo Slim bars, especially their Brownie Crunch. It has 180 calories and 16 grams of protein in there, which is good to see. And it also has 3 grams of sugar, which is awesome. And they only use vegetable glycerin, probably to thicken the bar, and natural flavors. And their first ingredient, even though it's not the highest quality of protein, again, is soy protein. It's gluten-free, low GI. Again, I wish it was a little bit higher in the protein content, but again, above average bar. Oatmega, with 14 grams of protein and 200 calories, is starting off a little meh. 7 grams of sugar, meh. Vegetable glycerin, tapioca, syrup, sugar, natural flavors, that falls in the average category as well of bad ingredients. They have grass-fed whey protein concentrate, not a bad version of whey protein, and non-GMO and gluten-free, that's wonderful. But again, it's an average bar. But one bar is one of the most popular bars in North America. See what I did there? Having 20 grams of protein and 220 calories, it is a great bar to see, especially with their first ingredient being whey protein isolate. They do only have 1 gram of sugar, but 6 grams of sugar alcohol, seeing that with maltitol, vegetable glycerin, again, to thicken the bar. And then also having natural flavors and sucralose. Even though it's a gluten-free bar, I would be in between the above average and average, but I think it just has to be on the high end of the average category. Let's talk about Optimum Nutrition's Protein Crisps. Their peanut butter crunch has 20 grams of protein for 230 calories, and ultimately has a pretty low sugar, 4 grams of sugar, 6 grams of sugar alcohols though, with added IMOs, sugar, maltitol syrup, natural and artificial flavors. Seeing whey protein isolate is as a first ingredient is great, and seeing it as gluten-free is nice as well. But again, it's a candy bar. Having IMOs, sugar, maltitol syrup, you're basically just having a nice little candy bar. It might be the best of the candy bar variations, but it's a candy bar at the end of the day. Let's talk about Optimum Nutrition's protein wafers now. Their wafers have only 15 grams of protein at 210 calories, so a little bit less protein, but less calories as well. Their number one ingredient is milk protein isolate, not as good as whey protein isolate. They don't have any sugar alcohols, but do have 5 grams of sugar. They do have sugar, fructose, natural and artificial flavors, as well as sucralose listed on there. Again, it's going to be a thumbs down. It's a little bit better in regards than the Protein Crisp because it doesn't have the IMOs, but at the end of the day, it's not one I would recommend, especially the chocolate cream version. Can anything be perfect? Yeah, well, the perfect bar tries to be. The dark chocolate chip peanut butter is a little high in calories, of 320 calories and only 15 grams of protein. That's a little worrisome, only having 15 grams of protein in there for how calorically high this bar is. At the end of the day, I'm looking at their sugar too and thinking 18 grams, this bar is definitely going to fall by the wayside. But I am wrong because their only one bad ingredient is organic cane sugar. Organic peanut butter is actually their first ingredient, having a non-GMO, gluten-free, organic, and low GMI food, and seeing that most of their sugar is only coming from the organic cane sugar, I have to honestly give it an elite category. Let's go to our next bar. That's going to be the Power Crunch bar. The Power Crunch peanut butter fudge bar has 13 grams of protein, 13 grams of fat, 12 grams of carbs. Very even. It's going to be very satiating with that high amount of fat as well. And only having 5 grams of sugar, even though all of them are added sugar, comes from sugar, fructose, maltodextrin, natural flavors, definitely things I don't want to see. And having their first ingredient be micropeptides from hydrolyzed whey protein. Again, you probably want it to be just whey protein isolate. I have to put it in the average category. Time to look at the pros and cons of a Pro Bar cookie dough variation. They do have 20 grams of protein for 270 calories. They do have 14 grams of sugar though, 13 of them being added coming from tapioca syrup, cane sugar, vegetable glycerin, and natural flavors. Soy protein isolate is their first ingredient. Again, not the best, but definitely not the worst by any means. They are a non-GMO, gluten-free bar, but again, seeing that they have 20 grams of protein, but seeing those added grams of sugar and seeing what this bar could have been for 270 calories, I have to give it a thumbs down. So seeing pure protein on this list, you'll probably think automatically, oh, those are but cheap protein bars. Well, it's true. Most grocery stores do carry them, and they are pretty cheap. When I look at them, I automatically try and find something different, mainly because that ingredient list is so long, and they have 20 grams of protein, which is great for 200 calories. But when I look at their ingredients and look at maltitol syrup, maltodextrin, maltitol, sugar, natural flavors, tapioca starch, and sucralose, 7 ingredients I don't want to see on there, and automatically, I don't care what it is, gluten-free, because it is, or that soy protein isolate is their first ingredient, it has to give a huge thumbs down. One of the most popular bars by far is the Quest chocolate chip cookie dough bar. Especially if you heat it up in a microwave, it tastes exactly like a cookie and only has 1 gram of sugar. It does have 3 grams of sugar alcohols though coming from it with their 21 grams of protein. Erythritol is making up almost all their sugar alcohols, and then natural flavors is in the bar as well, which is definitely something we don't want to see. Again, it has a high fiber content of 14 grams, but seeing milk protein isolate as their first ingredient, having it be gluten-friendly as well, or gluten-free, excuse me. I'm going to say it's an above average bar, but it could fit into the average category as well if it doesn't settle well with your stomach. Let's talk about the Redcon 1 MRE bar, and let me tell you what, your body will be going into combat when it eats and tries to digest this. So it has 20 grams of protein, and ultimately it does have 6 grams of sugar, 5 grams of added sugar, which isn't bad. But seeing maltodextrin, dextrose, sucralose, sugar, maltitol, and natural flavors in there, definitely ingredients you don't want to see in your packaged products. And beef protein isolate, if anything, is their first main ingredient. Probably something I don't want to see as well in regards to other proteins. And seeing that it's more of an expensive bar and it's a bigger bar at 260 calories, I definitely would go thumbs down and try to find a different bar. Guys, let's rise again and talk about the chocolatey almond rise bar. This bar has 17 grams of protein, and even though it has 15 grams of sugar, it's all coming from natural ingredients, and you'll know it once you read them. They only have 4 ingredients: almonds, honey, which is where the sugar is coming from, whey protein, and carob. Seeing that all together and seeing that it's only 260 calories for it, and that it's a non-GMO, gluten-free, soy-free, no preservatives, just 4 ingredients, no sugar added as well, has to be an elite bar. Great job, Rise. Well, let's look at Robert Irvine's Fit Crunch bar. Again, the only thing that's gonna fit is it hopes it fits into your macros. That's all I'm going to say about Robert Irvine's bar. 380 calories. Again, one of the most high calorie options here on this list. 30 grams of protein, which is good to see there, but 6 grams of sugar, 5 of it being added, and 16 grams of sugar alcohols. He has maltitol is listed as the number 1 there, with corn syrup and sugar as well. There's also natural flavors, maltodextrin and tapioca starch, but they're not really prevalent in this bar. Whey protein isolate is the first ingredient, which is great there, but again, seeing that it's a gluten-free bar, but has so many sugar alcohols, it's not really a protein bar. It's that's right, candy bar. Throw up the RX bar time, baby. It is a bar that has only 12 grams of protein, though. The chocolate sea salt variation at 210 calories. You definitely want a little bit more than just 12 grams of protein. 13 grams of sugar, but the good thing is none of it is added. No sugar alcohols. That is all coming from their main ingredient, which is dates. Their only bad knock on them, other than being low protein, is that they do have natural flavors in there as well. But again, this is a gluten-free, no added sugar bar. This is an above average bar by far, close to the elite category, but with the natural flavors being in there. And with it being lower protein than the rest of the bars we're looking at, I have to only put them in the above average category. Just because everyone thinks they can think thin, this bar is already on my bad side. With the Brownie Crunch bar having 20 grams of protein for 230 calories is a plus. Seeing that they also or a bar that has non-GMO, gluten-free, and low GI is a plus. But 11 grams of sugar alcohols are those really needed? Is maltitol syrup really needed in that much capacity? Vegetable glycerin, natural flavor, tapioca starch, not really my cup of tea. So how about you think again, think thin, thumbs down. Next is the Vega Sport Crunchy Peanut Butter Bar. We're getting close to the home stretch now, guys. We are looking at this bar, seeing that it's 20 grams of protein, seeing that it's 300 calories. That's great and all. But I want to make sure that the sugars aren't bad. So they do have 14 grams of sugar, none of it being added, no sugar alcohols, right? They do have tapioca syrup, organic sugar, vegetable glycerin, and natural flavors listed on their bar. Having brown rice protein as their first ingredient is not the biggest win, but it is vegan and non-GMO. So the pros and the cons don't outweigh each other. They immediately cancel each other out. I think it's an average bar. Finally, guys, we are on the last bar. It is the Zone Perfect Chocolate Chip Cookie Dough Classic Bar. And with the top 3 ingredients being brown rice syrup, corn syrup, and sugar, we're in for a great bar, right? Especially if it only has 10 grams of protein. That sounds incredible. Yup, this bar is rightfully in the candy bar section. Woof! You guys made it through the ranking of all 41 protein bars. Which ones did I miss? Which bar is your favorite? Which flavor? Leave them in the comment section below, and I can't wait to read those responses. Also, there's the list of all the protein bars being ranked from candy bar to elite. I can't wait to see you guys next time. Until then, take care.